Well, thank you so much for joining me today and being on the Rural Opportunities podcast.
Thank
I
you.
have not yet been out to Cherry Lane Bed and Breakfast, but it's been on my husband and mine's list of places to go for the past year. So we're just trying to find a time to make it out there. So I'd love to
No,
just
absolutely.
give you a chance to introduce yourself and what
Right.
inspired you to open Cherry Lane Bed and Breakfast.
So what inspired us to open a B&B? This was actually a bed and breakfast before. It was done seasonally. It was called a rose bush.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it was started back with a couple. They farmed the land and so on and so forth, and they brought in what we call the cafe, and they called it a tea house. They brought it in from just about 3/4 of a mile, and they put it onto the property here. It's a 19, no, I think I have the years wrong. This one I believe is a 1927.
Wow.
Nope, 1918. Yeah, 1918 home that was moved here. It was a number of things. It was a home. I heard it was a county nurses station. It was a school. So it had been quite a few things. And then they also brought in another home from north of Edinburgh. And it sits, and that's what the actual B&B portion, the bed and breakfast portion of the property is. They also made it a golf course. There was a
Hmm.
9-hole golf course here, and they built what they called the clubhouse. So there was that, and when we took it over, right at the shutdown of COVID in 2020, um, the golf course wasn't active because of changing hands through different owners, the irrigation blew and so on and so forth. But there was soccer golf or foot golf, so they made
Hmm.
the holes bigger and used a soccer ball.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so it's kind of neat, and we put in the disc nets for disc golf. So we're on UDisc, which is an app that a lot of people use. I guess it's quite a big thing, and so for us to come here, it was it was not a fluke. It was something we wanted. We wanted to find some place that we could, you know, I'm 53, my wife's 53, so we wanted somewhere where we could, establish ourselves, and we're not from the area,
Okay.
but we've been accepted greatly in the community. So this we changed it to Cherry Lane as opposed to the Rose Bush because our focus is not seasonal bed and breakfast tea house. Our focus is food. So we're able to bring uh, my style of cooking and some new things to this area. And yeah, so it's kind of taking it over was definitely a project and a half though.
I believe that. How did you find Camrose County? Like, how did you happen upon that?
By fluke, actually, we were sitting watching Netflix, and my wife said, "Hey, grab my tablet." So she grabbed my tablet, and she's looking through and found MLS, and there was actually another bed and breakfast in Farintosh, which is over on Highway 21, not far from us,
Yeah.
for sale, and this one was for sale.
Hmm.
And so, as a joke, she emailed it to her mom and dad, who were in Arizona, and said, "Hey, fun business. We could live on the property together." Ha ha ha! Joke, joke, joke. Well, as it developed, it turned out to be something that happened.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it was just on a whim of looking up acreages and businesses in the community that was, small enough yet still close enough to Camrose. We're close to
Yeah.
Stettler, and so her parents moved onto the property with us. And then there was, yeah, so it just kind of fluked out.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. And the name Cherry Lane comes from my wife. She, as a little girl, she always thought living on Cherry Lane would be fun or a
Mm.
great thing to do. So when we found out there there's more now, but there's Evans cherry trees on the property, it just seemed to fit. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of like
perfect.
destiny in a sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you said you took it over right before COVID. I'm assuming that that presented challenges in itself.
It did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But we actually took it over March 16th, the day the WHO said everything's done, shut down.
Wow.
So it presented challenges, but we truly believe it was a blessing in disguise. It gave us a chance to put our touch on it, our
Mm,
spin of what we see, um, update things. As you can see behind me, the colors, these are the colors that were not here before. These are the the cafe motif that we have. So it's retro, it's blue. We have my wife's amazing at refinishing furniture, so we have utilized certain things, and
mm,
she redid a piano that was no longer able to be used.
mhm.
So we were able to take that time and like I said, put our spin on it, catch up with some of the maintenance that needed to be done, and not be forced into open and wondering what's going on.
Mm,
So yeah, it was challenges, setting up things like with uh, getting permits and so on and so forth. Camrose County was absolutely amazing. Uh,
mm,
the office there, we love them. They're
yeah,
great people.
they are.
Um, then there was Alberta Health we had to deal with and get a hold of, and of course their focus was not new businesses whatsoever. So we
Right.
were kind of put on the back burner and jumped around from different people. But yeah, it was some challenges. But again, I think for us, we really lucked out that we were able to not be pressured to do it somebody else's way off the top.
Right, and kind of gave you that transition time that you needed, like you said, to
Yeah,
make it yourself and
yeah, exactly.
start off how you wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we again, I blessing in disguise for us.
Yeah, totally. So you said your main, like you do have the bed and breakfast there, which people can stay, but you said that's not your main focus, and Cherry Lane has a lot of other stuff going on. So can you talk about like the saloon and you said your focus is food, so just what other stuff that you guys have going on there?
Yeah, well, I've been a chef for over 30 years. So I was the executive chef at the University of Lethbridge before this. So I've dealt with a lot of different types of places, done a lot of different types of foods. So we were able to utilize the cafe as lunch. So this is where we do lunches and our brunch on Sunday. And then we had the saloon, which was the clubhouse. So we did quite a bit of renovations on that and brought in tables and built tables and actually built quite a few tables. But so that's where we do dinners, we do birthday parties, events, smaller weddings. Um, we also do events here, like weddings and family reunions. Because of the golf course, it gives us a space to do it. So we have three big tents that people can rent and have weddings here. I think we had 8 weddings this year. I'm not
Wow.
sure. Yeah, and then of course with that comes camping. We have 8 power sites, um, and then we have, I would say, 10 unserviced, but really we call it the back 40. It's a large area. So we've at one point last year we had 47 camping rigs back there,
Oh
all
my goodness.
duck wagon style, and that was for a big wedding. So we have quite a few things besides just the bed and breakfast. So there's that area, and then again, I mentioned the soccer golf and the disc golf. Those things are definitely up and coming now. And we're not seasonal like it was before. We don't close until just before Christmas,
Wow.
and then we open up for the next couple of years for sure. Be just before Valentine's Day. So it's just a short pause for the cold weather, and nobody has to travel, and because that January is the worst. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it gives us a little bit of a break. So
Yeah, for sure. So the B&B is open basically February to December.
yep,
Wow.
yep. So and even then, if um, our first year we had it available because we didn't travel, we didn't close or anything like that. But so yeah, it is available, and we have people that stay during the winter time. They just come out for a staycation, and that's the other thing that we're on is um, we've had a lot of people come. I just need a day away. Last weekend we had that a girl from Camrose. She just wanted a night away and not have to think about it. And it's very, very quiet here, and a lot of people enjoy the serenity and have it.
Yeah, I bet. So I just want to make sure for the saloon and like the cafe that you have, do people have to book a stay to come for that, or can they just come
No,
when you have lunch hours and
no, no. We have. It's actually more people that are not staying at the B&B. So we have quite a few regulars that come for lunch. And then dinner time is anybody. We like to have reservations or a heads up. Hey, we're coming out. Might be
Yeah,
around 6 o'clock. There's especially if there's more than say 4 or 6 people.
yeah.
Um, Big thing for us out here is we're limited on staff.
Mm,
For the most part, it's just my wife and I, Melissa.
mm,
I'm in the kitchen. She is the server, the manager, the everything else, and as well as being an amazing baker. So um, it's nice to know that, but no, it's public just comes on in and we serve lunch from 11 till 4, and then
mm,
dinner is 5 till 8,
mm.
and that's
Wow,
just yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday we do that, and then Sunday we have brunch from 11 till 2, so just a short day on Sunday.
perfect. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
What are the other local attractions in the area that you find that people who hang out at Cherry Lane or come stay, what do they do when they're staying?
Well, there's a couple different things. People go to Meeting Creek, which is only a short 5-minute drive from us. During the warmer time of the year, they have an amazing train station and historic site down there. Donalda, which is not very far, is a cute little town. It has the world's biggest oil
Yeah,
lamp
yeah.
down there. And then not too far on the gravel is a place called La Prairie Air Ecotourism.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yes, and that's run by Forrest Hagen, I believe his last name is. Um, so that's another attraction. And then just north of us is Tillicum and Tillicum Beach and Tillicum Lake. So people go up there and they can tour around and see some of the sites up there and spend the day on the beach. And it's a different type of beach, of course, but it's
Hmm.
still a beach.
Yep,
So yeah,
I'm
there's quite a
sure.
few things to do. And we also do find that people just wander on the golf course and
Yeah.
just relax. So
Hmm.
there is definitely some things to do here.
Hmm. Yeah, it's nice to get away and just have a little quieter. Sometimes you're not looking for anything to do.
Yeah.
But Camrose County does have some good little gems in there. And
Oh, absolutely.
Tillicum Beach actually is super popular for ice fishing.
I did hear that
Yeah.
through one of the local guys around here. So,
Yeah, if you go there on the weekend in the winter, there's just fishing huts just lined up down the lake. So
oh wow.
I've heard that people catch some pretty big fish there. So
Oh wow, that's
I
crazy.
I have never heard myself. I have never caught one myself, but I've
Oh, okay.
heard a lot of good things about it.
Oh, good. That's good to know. I'll add that on the list.
Yeah. Are there any memorable guest stories or experiences that stand out for you running the B&B, or like what are some like of your favorite feedback that you get from guests or
Yeah, we have to be honest, there's a lot
yeah.
of memorable guests. Um, we have some people that came here and actually, oh yeah, so they came and they celebrated his 50th, no, 65th birthday.
Mm.
Um, and then before they stayed for 2 days, Joan and Chris know them well because they came back and they did his retirement party here.
Oh,
And then
cool.
we did a small family reunion here and then another birthday party. So we find that we get a lot of people coming back to celebrate things here.
Mm.
We're, it's especially the small intimate ones. One guest, her name was Connie. She recently passed away this past spring, but she stayed here 2 years. But she had never missed BVJ.
Mm.
He had gone to every single one for 30 some odd years, no matter where it
Wow.
was. So she was quite the character. Um, just to make you laugh just by walking into a room. She
Mhm.
was fantastic. And there's a few others absolutely that stand out. We have one of the girls that worked for me or helped me in the kitchen, she got married here. So, but
Mm.
that's not how it started, right? It just rolled into it. So we find that there's a lot of people that we meet and develop a kind of a rapport with. So
Mhm.
definitely some memorable people for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool when you have repeat customers and you start to really get to know them, and they come back to you for many different occasions. That's really cool.
Yeah, we really enjoy that. And it's nice to know that they feel comfortable and they enjoy coming here. There was also another couple who, because of health issues, never went out. She was very sick sometimes, so we opened up on a day we were closed just so they could have dinner on their anniversary.
Mm,
So, and we've seen them, she's doing better. And, you know, those are the type of people we definitely love having coming back.
for sure. In your opinion, Adam, what role do rural B&Bs play in promoting local culture and tourism?
I think what they do is they allow people to come out of their shell, out of their city,
Mm,
without a guesswork of something. So they know they're going to a bed and breakfast. So they know they have a place to stay. They don't have to worry about a hotel that they may not like or so on and so forth and have to be, you know, try to just, they're still by themselves. At a B and B, you get the personal touch. So, right, because you meet the owners, as far as I've ever known, any B and
mm,
B. Ours is a little different because we don't live in the bed and breakfast home. But I think that really does help promote it because people will come here and they'll stay, maybe they'll have dinner. But they're willing to do things like go to Donaldo or go to Meeting Creek or some of those other facets around here. And at the same time, they, on their journey here or their journey to any bed and breakfast in the rural setting, they're going to see things that they didn't know. Like, oh, I
mm,
didn't know there was a meadery in Hayes Lake or no, it's the other one. But and you know, they're going to see signs and that's going to support some of the smaller places. Like there's a butcher over on the other side of Edinburgh, and you see the sign on
mm,
the highway, but if you didn't see the sign, you wouldn't know. So I
right.
think it allows the exposure of other businesses and other opportunities for people to do things that they normally wouldn't do.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. And when you're talking, it just kind of made me think too, a bed and breakfast like yours is in a way a good opportunity if, say, somebody was maybe considering moving out to the country and they had never lived out in the country before. In a way, it's kind of a
Off step.
quick way to kind of dip your toe in and see if you like living
Exactly.
out where it's really quiet and you're far away from neighbors and um, just kind of
That is
test
one
the
of the biggest
waters with it.
comments. Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest comments we get is people like, it is so quiet.
Yeah.
It is incredibly quiet in the country. And that's a very good point. You know, it could be like, well, I would like to, but I don't know. Like, is it awkward? Is it, you know, and we're only just a kilometer from pavement.
Right.
So it definitely gives them the quiet without having to worry about being right by the highway. So I can see that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I bet you guys have been getting some pretty cool scenes of the Northern Lights this year.
Yeah, we do. We had quite a few pictures. There was a gentleman staying in the camping and he took quite a few. They were just dancing like crazy. It was really
Um,
neat to see.
yeah. You guys are far enough away from the city and you would have some pretty good stars out there, I could imagine.
Yeah, actually, there's some pictures last night my daughter took. She's visiting and she didn't have a flash, she didn't have a filter, nothing like that. And you can see in her camera, she zoomed in a little bit and they're incredibly bright. And same with the super moon or what was it called? The harvest moon that we
Oh,
just
yeah,
had.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very bright. Like you wouldn't need headlights to drive. It was so bright here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, we do have quite a few neat experiences that you just would miss living in a city.
Yeah, for sure. What do you wish that people knew about operating a bed and breakfast in a rural area?
We have our unique challenges. You know, I think they have to understand that just showing up sometimes, like for dinner, for example, um, isn't the same as doing it in a city
Mm,
when it comes to say our staffing. Um, there you know, the fluctuation of business is a tough one. You have to be able to adapt to what's going on. You also need to be in a rural setting, you definitely need to have some type of I don't want to say handyman in you, but willingness to go out of just your comfort zone. Like I said, I've been a chef for a long time, but you know, there's times where I have to jump on the tractor and clear snow just so people can get in, you know. So, and also being in the country, we don't have uh, the exposure say by word of mouth that, you know, we're having a function here, so we're closed for that day. And it's really
Mm,
good to give us a heads up, or maybe call just to see if you're thinking of coming out.
right.
So there are some challenges that way.
Mhm. I took a quick peek at your social media, and
Mhm.
you guys always seem to have something exciting going on, whether it's like live music or a cookie decorating class or stuff like that. And I saw that you guys have your own barbecue sauce.
Yes, we just started. So um, I developed that sauce recipe just when we got here, through trial and error. I tried a few things and
Mm,
really enjoyed it. And I've been doing it the same way now for almost 4 years. And we just recently found the bottling and the bottles that we wanted, and my wife made the labels. And so, yeah, we're actually selling our barbecue sauce now. And it was definitely by request.
hmm.
Had quite a few people ask. And finally, we just bit the bullet and said, okay, yeah, we're gonna figure out how to do this. And yeah, so we're selling our own barbecue sauce.
Wow, that's super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, my wife's cookie decorating classes. She has one this weekend in Roslyn. It's been sold out for a little while. She's got two more or three more, I guess, on uh well, I guess there's the two December ones, and then there's one in she's doing in another small community. We have our Christmas menu coming up because we change our menu 3 times a year.
Mm,
Um, and we do well, at the end of this month, we always celebrate uh, Dia de Muerto, so the Day of the Dead, Halloween.
mm.
So we do a Mexican theme week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we do that in March and in October. And then after after Remembrance Day, we change our menu to our Christmas menu.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit different and uh, seasonal. And yeah, so we have that coming up. We always do something for Valentine's Day. Our Mother's Day is always sold out. And yeah, we do concert on the course. Yeah, so we're constantly trying to do something different and just give people an opportunity to come to somewhere that's unique.
Mm, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So if people want to follow you and find out about all this cool stuff that you're doing, where's the best place for them to do that?
Definitely social media is the first one. Facebook, Instagram. Um, I believe we've done a couple of TikToks. I'm
Okay.
not myself. I am not the social media person of this. Our website we try to keep up as well. The Camrose County office, they've always had lots of information and yeah, so we're definitely out there on the web. There's a few times we're in the newspaper, but for the most part, social media and our website is definitely the easiest. And we're always available for a phone call, for a text, for an email.
Okay, perfect.
Hmm.
Is there any other exciting projects that you guys have on the horizon that you want to talk about, or what's next for Cherry Lane?
Cherry Lane, we are definitely, like I said before, we're food focused. So we're trying to keep driving that forward with doing things like the theme week we have coming up at the end of the month,
Mm,
with changing our Christmas seasonal menu. It's a 3-course meal, so it's
oh
not just a
wow.
one thing. Yeah, we start off with a house-made soup, and then you have your choice of entree and then choice of dessert. Um, and then again, we do Valentine's. We always try and do something special for Valentine's for dinner. And then we just keep on trying different things. April, we might try something different. We're kicking around a few ideas, but definitely our Mother's Day.
Mm,
And yeah, just trying to be innovative by, you know, like having the barbecue sauce now for sale and trying
yeah,
different things. So,
that's
yeah,
really cool. Yeah, you
yeah,
guys
for
always
us,
seem to
really.
have something fun going on there.
Yeah, we're trying to. And, you know, really the sky's the limit for us. My wife is incredibly creative and comes up with some amazing ideas, and we just end up executing them.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
What is your favorite part about running a business in a rural area?
definitely. Well, that's twofold. In the rural area is meeting people that I don't think I would actually normally come across.
Mm,
say either living in a city or even living in a different part of Alberta. The community here is so supportive. And they really took us under their wing by, I mean, yes, COVID had something to do with it, but they really supported us. So I think meeting the people and watching the local families grow.
Mm,
There's a couple kids that we saw 4 years ago. They were little toddlers, and now they're riding bicycles all over the place,
mm,
and they have younger siblings. So seeing things like that, that's definitely enjoyable. And again, in the rural setting, it's a little more commonplace, whereas in the city, people are a little more apprehensive, I think. And being out here with my wife and her and I running the business together is, I couldn't ask for anything else.
mm. That's amazing. That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, we're
Um,
lucky.
Sorry, go ahead.
We are lucky.
Yeah, for sure. I've always lived in a rural area, and I couldn't do anything else, honestly. I love it.
I could see that.
Yeah. Um, so it sounds like Cherry Lane just really has it all going on. You got food, you can do weddings, disc golf, you can stay for a little getaway, camping. Um, just really got it all going on.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, my wife is very innovative, and we are very food focused.
Mhm.
Which I also like is that it brings people together.
Yeah.
Um, smaller groups, larger groups, and it allows us to be personal with them, and they really enjoy that.
Mhm.
Quality checks. When I'm done cooking their meal, then I get them in and I go out and I talk to them. I check, make sure things are good. So we're very personal. Um, and yeah, we just try and keep I guess we're ducks is a better way to put it, very calm on top, but we're always doing something underneath. So
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think COVID made us realize that gathering together is even more important than ever. And so for you guys to be able to create that experience and have a place for people to gather is pretty special too.
it is, and a lot of people find us to be a safe place, just health wise. You
Mm,
know, there's still some people that are very on edge about it, but no, we do have a lot, and we love that. We
hmm.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, those more intimate settings, and you guys have larger property so people can have some space and just have a
Absolutely.
safe place to gather too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anything else that I missed that you want to talk about, or is there anything that you're thinking?
Um, Not that I can think of. We're I'm gonna put it. We're like I've said, I don't know, a half dozen times. We're very lucky to be here and be in this community. And I say Camrose County has uh, been supportive as well. We just enjoy being able to help people with their stay, with their meals, with whatever it is. And we're going to be here for a while.
Mm,
We have no plans on going anywhere, and yeah, we're happy.
that's awesome. Camrose County is such a great place to be, and I'm glad that you found it such a friendly and welcoming place to run a business and to have your life here. And that's just really good to hear because
Yeah,
Camrose County is such a great place to be.
it is. And I've only like in the past, I think I'd only been to Camrose, the city, like maybe twice in my life.
Mm,
And so for us to end up here was a big move.
hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. You're actually not the only business that I've heard that from. Um, it seems that people just kind of happen upon Camrose County and end up loving it, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah,
So absolutely.
super cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, and
No problem. Thank you for
it's
having us.
been really cool talking to you, and I just really enjoyed learning more about Cherry Lane Bed and Breakfast.
Well, you're definitely gonna have to come up here.
Yes, for sure.
And remember, it's not just a Monday to Friday or a Friday to Sunday type of thing. So a lot of people come out midweek, because it is quieter. Uh,
Mm, yeah.
yeah, we actually have some campers, some older campers. They come out on a Monday
Cool.
during the summer, because people aren't there, so.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
get the
anytime, so you
product
gotta
out
come
there.
out.
Yeah, for sure.